Today in one of the groups, a lady wanted to know how she could use half of a volleyball and half of a soccer ball and make it one ball. So for the sake of the video, I've already traced this one and turned it into a path. And this one here is still an image. So the first thing you want to do when you Google images, you want to make sure that the resolution is at least 500 by 500. And it will tell you here if you select your image, okay? That's just going to give you a better trace. And then select it and go to Path, Trace Bitmap. As you can see, I've already done it. Uncheck Smooth, uncheck Stack Scans, and remove the background, and click OK. And then you can close that box out. Grab your path, make sure it says path down here, and delete your image, okay? You want to get in the habit of looking down here, because sometimes if you grab a white part, you'll grab the image that's underneath, and then you think you're working with a path, but you're not. So make sure that it says image, and then go ahead and delete that. Now we need to make these the same size. So what I'll do is just unlock this, and we'll make this 225 by 225, and I'll lock that, and then I'll go to this one. I'll make this one 225 by, I'll unlock it and do 225. Okay, and then I'll lock it. Now I'll select them both, and I'll go to my Align and Distribute, and I will center them on a vertical axis and on a horizontal axis. But actually, before I do that, because I brought this in, I had already had this in SVG, you want to make sure you ungroup it, okay, until it says no groups down here. All right, and then select them both and center them horizontally and vertically, okay? And now deselect everything and grab your Bezier pen here. And click up at the top above the balls, hold your control key and bring it down below the balls and hit enter. Okay. Now this is just a stroke. We need to turn it into a path. So while it's selected, go to path, stroke to path. Not object to path, stroke to path. While it's still selected, right click and duplicate that. Okay. And then now we just have one selected. We're going to hold the shift key and select a ball and go to path division. And then we need to grab that ball and get it out of the way. Okay. And then let's make sure there's no pieces left underneath there. Select them again, center them, and do path division again. And it says select exactly 2 paths. So I did have a piece under there. So I'll select that and delete it. I'll select those 2 again, center them horizontally and vertically, and then do path division again. Okay. Now as you can see, there's a bounding box around this little piece here. So what I'll do is deselect everything and grab this half of the ball, and then I'll select this and delete this, and I'll also delete this. So then we can put them together. You can select this one and then hold your shift key and select this one. Now this is going to be my anchor. And if you look over here in your Align and Distribute, the very first icon, it says align right edges of objects to left edge of the anchor. So if I click that, it's going to perfectly align those together. But as you can see, if I grab this and I move it up to where it's perfectly aligned at the top, and then I go down to the bottom, sorry about all the zooming, you can see that this is thicker. So there's a couple ways you can fix that. You can deselect everything, select this one, and do a Control-0 and make that thicker. Maybe one more time. And then go to your node editor here and just kind of try to straighten those out a little bit. Okay, you want to look at it too to make sure that it didn't make your lines so horribly thick. And then go back to your selection tool. Actually leave it in the editing tool, and I'll select these two. And pull them down, pull this one up, pull this one down. I'll actually delete that one. Pull this one down. I'm just trying to straighten out the rounded edges of the circle. I'm not worried about the rest. It will cut fine. Just so that it's, you know, symmetrical. Okay. This isn't connected. If you want that connected, go ahead and go back to your node editor and click on this half of the ball. And then I would grab these two nodes and left click and just pull on those two until they're connected there. You can pull it all the way if you want. It just depends. Whatever your preference. Okay. And even if you wanted to get rid of these here, you could go ahead and grab those, delete them, hold Control and click on these little circles, and it puts the adjusting what do you call those things? Handles. Sorry about that. Told you it was late. Back into their node. Okay. So that's how I did it. Obviously, this is open here. So you can't connect it like I did up here. You could bring this one down, but then it's going to be far more than half. So anyway, that's how I did it. Then you can either select them both and group them, or you can do path union. If you do path union, it makes it all one. It will cut as one. If you group them and you take them into Design Space or your cutting program, you can change the colors of them if you want them separate colors. But if you union them, they're going to become one color. Okay, so that's how I did it.